Hello students, welcome to the lecture on motivation, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Understand concept of motivation, discuss about factors affecting motivation, describe the process of motivation, understand concept of reward and explain quality of work life. Let's start with what motivation is. Motivation is that internal drive that causes an individual to decide to take an action. There are several motivation factors for the employees, including biological, intellectual, social, and emotional factors. Best way for employers to figure out how to inspire employee motivation at work. To create a work environment in which an employee is motivated about work involves both intrinsically satisfying and extrinsically encouraging factors. Motivation is the combination of fulfilling the employee's need and expectation from work and the workplace. Factors that enables employee motivation. Motivation is an important aspect of human resource management. It refers to the forces that arouse enthusiasm and persistence to pursue a certain course of action for accomplishing organizational goals. Nowadays, there are numerous motivation theories that human resource managers use in order to encourage high work performance. Generally, there are two types of rewards in motivation. The first is intrinsic reward, which is the satisfaction a person receives in the process of performing a particular action. For example, a person selling educational materials may get an intrinsic reward of helping children read well. The other type of reward is extrinsic, which are the rewards that are generally given by another person, typically a manager, and include promotion and pay increases. For instance, some person that does not get pleasure from doing his or her job may be motivated by an intrinsic reward of high payment. Good human resource manager usually strive to help people achieve both extrinsic and intrinsic rewards, far as it has been proven that most talented and innovative employees are usually motivated not only by rewards such as benefits and money, but also with the satisfaction from the work they do. To create an environment that is rich in opportunity, challenge and reward, managers need to implement one of the manager's theories. The three types of motivation theories include content theories, process, and reinforcement theories. Content theories usually stress the understanding of human needs and how they can be satisfied in the workplace. Thus, if a human resource manager realizes workers' need, the organization reward system can be designed to meet them and reinforce employees for directing energies and priorities towards attainment of organizational goals. One of the content theories is a hierarchy of needs theory developed by Abraham Maslow. Motivation is the inner drive that directs a person's behavior toward goals. Motivation can be defined as a process which energizes, directs, and sustains human behavior. In HRM, the term refers to a person's desire to do the best possible job or to exert the maximum effort to perform assigned tasks. Tell me, student, what you understand by the term motivation. Motivation is one of the most important concepts in HRD. In most organizations, it is common to hear the refrain that a particular employee is non-motivated and hence his or her performance has taken a backseat. This is the reason companies spend humongous amounts of money in arranging for training sessions and recreational events to motivate the employees. Motivation can be understood as the desire or drive that an individual has to get the work done. For instance, when faced with a task, it is the motivation to accomplish it that determines whether a particular individual would complete the task according to the requirements or not. Further, the absence of motivation leads to underperformance and loss of competitiveness, resulting in loss of productive resources for the organization. It is for this reason that the HR managers stress on the employees having high levels of motivation to get the job done. There are many theories of motivation, and the ones being discussed here are the Herzberg hygiene theory, Maslow need hierarchy theory, and McGregor theory X and theory Y. Herzberg hygiene theory states that for employees to be motivated, certain conditions need to exist, and the absence of these conditions or the hygiene factors demotivate the employees. The point that is being made in this theory is that the presence of hygiene factor is a precondition for performance and is not a determinant of performance. On the other hand, the absence of these factors actually demotivates the employee. Hence, the bottom line is that companies should have the basic condition under which employees work fulfilled so that there is no drag on the performance. Maslow need hierarchy theory postulates that individuals are motivated according to a hierarchy of needs which starts from satiation of basic needs and then go on to need for recognition and finally the need to actualize one's vision and reach the highest stage of personality. The point that is being made in the theory is that individuals progress from one stage to the other depending on how well the needs at each stage are met. So organizations have to ensure that employees' needs are taken care of at each level so that by the time the employee reaches the top of the ladder, he or she is in a position to actualize them. Finally, McGregor's theory of motivation alludes to the carrot and stick approach that is favored by many managers. This theory states that employees can be motivated by a dual-pronged strategy of rewarding them for good work and punishing them for bad work. The opposite of these reactions mean that employees have a strong incentive to do well as opposed to doing badly. Motivation of employees is indeed important for the health of the companies. Only when employees are motivated sufficiently can they give their best. Typically, companies focus on compensation and perks and benefits as a strategy to motivate employees. Let's discuss the factors affecting motivation. Motivation is a factor that catalyzes the success of an organization. Those organizations are blessed who have motivated employees, employees that work hard in the workplace to achieve the goal and objective of the organization. People think that pay is the only motivation tool that affects the performance of an employee, but workplace environment is also a factor that affects the performance of an employee. Motivation at work not only ensures that work is done in time, but also ensures that quality of work is not compromised. For motivation at workplace, the environment is very important. Before a leader can effectively stimulate motivation within his or her group and or individual members, she or he must be aware of the factors that affect motivation. Employees get involved in organization in order to fulfill certain feelings, values, interests or needs such as recognition, approval, security issues, acceptance, seeking new experiences, meeting new people or building their self-esteem, etc. If one does not allow group members to address their needs, then they will not stay motivated enough to maintain the high levels of performance needed with the group. Why volunteers or group members lose interest? Little or no chance for personal development or growth, unclear group goals or discrepancies between group member expectation and membership and the reality of the situation, lack of praise, rewards or recognition for their involvement, feelings of inadequacy or that they are powerless to make a difference in the organization, job tasks are too routine or mundane, there is no variety offered, lack of support from other group members or tension among them, lack of prestige related to the task or group, lack of opportunities to demonstrate initiative and creativity. Why volunteers or group members remain committed? There are opportunities for personal development and advancement. They are involved in the group processes like problem solving, goal setting, and decision making. Their personal needs are being met and they feel appreciated. They receive private and public praise, rewards, and recognition. They can see that their presence does make a difference and recognize that something significant will be produced by the group. In any group or organization, there will be a tremendous diversity of interest and motivation for belonging. As a leader, it is important to understand own motives as well as those of group members. In addition to the personal factors involved, leaders must also be cognizant of certain factors about the group itself that affect the ability to motivate the group as a whole. There are 7 basic factors that affect our ability to motivate the group, organization, or committee. A group should neither be too large, impersonal, nor too small, overworked. Even if the purpose of the group is predetermined, it is important that group members be a part of the organizational goal-setting process and help establish the group's direction. Leaders must attempt to match individual skills or interests with group tasks. Members should also be provided with the proper resources and information to do those tasks. Participatory and empowering leadership motivates best. A leader should know his or her leadership style and let his or her group member know it also. Leaders must also be cognizant of the stages of group or team development: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. The meeting time and length should be conducive to the group members' attendance. Meetings should be productive, and when necessary, icebreakers should be used to promote team building within the group. If there is nothing to cover, then do not meet. The group's activities and its respective membership should be visible to everyone on campus. Improper publicity or lack therefore will diminish the significance or importance of the group's contribution to the campus. Groups should be as informal as possible with plenty of opportunities for relaxed interaction among group members. It is important for individual members to develop a sense of belonging and acceptance with the other group members and group goals. Moving on to the next topic, the process of motivation. Motivation is initiated by the conscious or unconscious recognition of an unsatisfied need. A goal is then established which it is believed will satisfy this need, and a decision is made on the action which it is expected will achieve the goal. If the goal is achieved, the need will be satisfied and the behavior is likely to be repeated the next time a similar need emerges. If the goal is not achieved, the same action is less likely to repeat it. From an organizational point of view, the model can be used to illustrate a process of motivation which involves setting goals that are likely to meet individual needs and encouraging the behavior required to achieve those goals. It is the first process of motivation. This stage involves unsatisfied needs and motives. Such unsatisfied needs can be activated by internal stimulus such as hunger and thirst. They can also be activated by external stimulus such as advertisement and window display. Tension. This stage involves tension. Unsatisfied needs create tension in the individual. Such tension can be physical, psychological, and sociological. In this situation, people try to develop objects that will satisfy their needs. Action to safety, needs, and motives. This stage involves action of people to satisfy needs and motives. Such tension creates strong internal stimulus that calls for action. Individual engages action to satisfy needs and motives for tension reduction. For this purpose, alternatives are searches and choice is made. The action can be hard work for earning more money. Goal accomplishment. This stage involves goal accomplishment. Action to satisfy needs and motives accomplishes goals. It can be achieved through reward and punishment. When actions are carried out as per the tension, then people are rewarded, others and punished. Ultimately, goals are accomplished. Feedback. This is the stage for motivation. Feedback provides information for revision or improvement or modification of needs as needed. Depending on how well the goal is accomplished, the needs and motives are modified. The significance of motivation is very important for an organization because of the following benefits it provides. Puts human resources into action. Every concern requires physical, financial, and human resources to accomplish the goals. It is through motivation that the human resources can be utilized by making full use of it. This can be done by building willingness in employees to work. This will help the enterprise in securing best possible utilization of resources. The level of a subordinate or an employee does not only depend upon his qualification and abilities. For getting best of his work performance, the gap between ability and willingness has to be filled, which helps in improving the level of performance of subordinates. This will result into increase in productivity, reducing costs of operation and improving overall efficiency. The first step on the path to growing employee motivation is finding out what each employee wants or needs and then move on to figuring out how one can get it to them. Some of the consideration are: find out what motivates each employee, find out by asking each employee, find out by asking employee peers what motivates the employee, offer what fits each employee's wants, the menu approach, give employees the opportunity to earn what they want, be consistent in the value of what is given to each employee. Do not turn what employees earn into entitlements. What motivates employees? Each employee has different needs and wants. Provide what the employee considers interesting work. Allow employees independence. Assign employees to work they are best able to perform. Now, for the more difficult to understand or believe that everyone wants to do things in his or her way. Sometimes make unreasonable requests, ignore the rules, even blame other people for our mistake. Many employees expect company entitlements without having to earn them. The interesting thing is that these attitudes permeate the business environment, and when they are allowed to go unchallenged, they are attitudes that in fact cause other employee dissatisfaction and demotivation. These attitudes cause employee dissatisfaction because they are not consistently accepted or refuted by management. So the biggest negative impact on employee motivation and morale is a lack of management consistency, inception, observation, control, and employee accountability. Did you know motives are very powerful tools to explain our behavior? They are never observed directly. They are inferred from behaviors. Motives enable to make prediction about an individual's future actions. Organizations must become more strategic if they are to survive and succeed in the current business environment. Functional and unit strategies must be aligned with overall firm strategy to enhance organizational effectiveness. As human resource HR takes its seat at the table and affects strategic direction, organizations are beginning to recognize that human capital can be utilized as a competitive advantage. An organization's success is the productivity of its employees. The ultimate goal of human resource management (HRM) as maximizing workforce productivity. In this respect, strategic compensation systems are vital to ensuring desired employee behaviors and enhance firm performance. Employees should be compensated and rewarded for the time and effort they put into work. Strategic reward management involves the formulation and implementation of an equitable reward system that is congruent with the organization's strategic objectives. A strategic reward system is a type of human resource management tool that is used to reward hardworking employees in an organization. It operates on two main principles, the best fit perspective and the best practice advocates claim. The objective of a strategic reward system are attract and retain employees, motivate performance, promote skill development, encourage corporate culture, and determine pay costs. Rewards can be either intrinsic or extrinsic. However, it is important when designing, implementing, and using a reward strategy that it meets both individual and organizational needs. HR professionals are more aware than ever that aligning all aspects of both organization and HRM are necessary to maximize the achievement of organizational goals. Total rewards including compensation, benefits, work-life balance, performance and recognition and development and career opportunities are one crucial aspect of attracting, retaining, satisfying and getting the most out of employees. To be effective, a total rewards package must tie together organizational strategy, workforce strategy and HR strategy. Total rewards should align each employee with the organizational objectives. Rewards programs are used by a manager as an incentive for the employees. Rewards programs can include bonuses, prizes or simple forms of recognition. Whatever form they take, they can encourage the behavior one-on-one from the staff, increase productivity, reduce employee turnover and improve staff morale. The purpose is to investigate the relationship between the human resource function and payroll administration, outline the rationale behind different compensation packages, evaluate the link between pay and performance. The term reward management covers both the strategy and the practice of pay system. Traditionally, human resource or personal section have been concerned with levels and scheme of payment, whereas the process of payment employees, the payroll function has been the responsibility of finance departments. Every company needs a strategic reward system for employees that address these four areas: compensation, benefits, recognition, and appreciation. Quality of work life can be defined as the environment at the workplace provided to the people on the job. QWL programs is another dimension in which employers has a responsibility to provide congenial environment, that is excellent working condition where people can perform excellent work. Also, their health as well as economic health of the organization is also met. The quality of personal life is always reflected in professional life and vice versa. Nowadays, to retain the employees in the organization, providing healthy QWL is a key factor. In earlier times, QWL means only job enrichment. In addition to improving the work system, QWL programs usually emphasize on developing of employee skills, the reduction of occupational stress, and the development of more cooperative labor management relation. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. To create an environment that is rich in opportunity, challenge and reward, managers need to implement one of the manager's theories. There are many theories of motivation, and the ones being discussed here are the Herzberg hygiene theory, Maslow need hierarchy theory, and McGregor theory X and theory Y. For motivation at workplace, the environment is very important. If the goal is achieved, the need will be satisfied and the behavior is likely to be repeated the next time a similar need emerges. The skill and efficiency of employees will always be of advantage to employees as well as employees.